Oh, yeah. Happy Monday. Hope everybody's doing good. Just figured I'd hop on and talk about the coming week. Happy holidays, everybody. Hope you had a good Christmas and Hanukkah and you're ready for New Year's and everybody's chilling and wondering if everybody watched Wonder Woman or Soul. Watched both, of course. Enjoyed them both. Soul more than Wonder Woman. Thought Wonder Woman wasn't as good as the first one, but still nice to see a new movie. Feels like I haven't seen like a blockbuster new movie in 10 months, you know. Would have been better in the theater, but such is life. So, hope everybody's doing good. I really wanted to jump on and talk about what's coming up this weekend, which is the Live from Flat 5 Bluesfest. Super stoked. So, I put the link for tickets in the description. I'm going to put it here too in the chat. Oh, whoops. I was going to put it there in the chat. Let me copy it again. Dun, dun, dun. Boom, 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 boom. And now I will put it in the chat. It's in the description of the video, and now it's in the chat. Man, it's going to rule this weekend. Live from Flat 5, January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So January 1st, a Friday, will be Kirk Fletcher. Come on, my brother. He's playing it. All the shows are at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So noon Pacific Standard. So January 1st, Kirk Fletcher at noon Pacific Standard Time. Tickets are at the link right there. You can get tickets for each individual day. You won't hurt my feelings if you're only a Kirk fan or you're only a Matt Schofield fan or you're only my fan, whatever. You won't hurt any of our feelings by buying individual day tickets. They're $15. You could buy the individual day you want to see and move about your way. Go about your business, as they say. Move along. But if you want all 3 days, there's a discount for the 3-day pass. So you save $5 if you buy all 3 days. So Kirk is January 1st. Matt Schofield, January 2nd at noon Pacific Standard Time. So that's Saturday. And then myself will be January 3rd at noon Pacific Standard Time. We will all play together each day at the end of the set. So Kirk will play his full set of tunes because, trust me, everybody's itching to play. So Kirk will play his full set of tunes, and then we'll play a little bit together at the end. And then the same thing the next day. Matt will play his full set, and then we'll play a little bit together at the end. And then the next day, I'll play my full set, and we'll play a little bit together at the end. There's also a VIP ticket that gets you a T-shirt that's exclusive for the weekend, and it has my logo, Kirk's logo, Matt's logo, and the Live from Flat 5 logo on it. It's actually really nice. I saw it today, and I'm really happy with it. So there's a discount too for that if you buy the 3-day pass with the T-shirt. Pretty freaking ruling. How long is each set? About 90 minutes. So it'll be like, from 12 to 1:30, give or take, including the jamming and all that. And then I may hang around at the end, come back in the control room. So you got to remember, I'll be running things the first 2 days. So I'll be in here switching cameras. I'll probably be talking to you guys while Kirk and Matt are playing, possibly talking shit, maybe like, oh, I wouldn't have played that way. Or no, I'm just joking. But pretty cool. It's going to be a fun weekend. And mostly it'll just be nice to spend a weekend making music with friends because it feels like a whole year has gone by without getting to do that. So that'll be nice. So let me turn to my right here and look at what questions are going on in chat and see what's going on here. Ruling. So essentially I'm headlining. No, I took Sunday because it's the most boring day, I guess. I just figured, it's my place. I'll just chill out, run the show the first couple days, make sure everything works for those guys. Yeah, I'm headlining. Huntington Beach says yes to Kirk Fletcher, yes to Matt Schofield. Oh, glad you enjoyed. Have you heard the Joanna record? I know it's coming soon, but we were happy to work on that. I've known Joanna since I was 13 years old, so it was an honor to help her make this record, and I hope it does tremendous things for her. You just got the myriad with the effects loop. Ruling. What else works in the loop? All sorts of stuff works in the loop. That's what's so cool about it. You can put, I really like having tremolo in the loop and blending it in just slightly. So you've got a little modulation on a second amp or something, a little movement, but you're able to control how much of it is there. You can also set the depth really high, but then just blend it in a little bit. I love that stuff. Even the Leslie. The cool thing about, modern day routing is certain switchers will let you choose what you send into it based on the preset. So that's the reason I put the poly in the loop of it on this new board, is because the poly is able to do so many sounds. Stand there with my arms crossed watching all the guys? Of course. Well, there'll be a Q&A. Yeah, I'm going to try to do, some sort of Q&A with the guys, either before or after a little bit. Definitely on my day, the Sunday, This is a chapin, this Strat. Ottawa would be cool in the loop, yeah. This is a chapin, I tell you. Okay, good question. You won't be able to watch live each day. I'm going to leave each day up for 72 hours. So when you buy a ticket for whatever day, you'll have 72 hours to watch that day. So I don't mean 72 hours in total. I mean each one 72 hours. So from January 1st, you'll have 72 hours from noon. January 2nd, you'll have 72 hours from noon. January 3rd, you'll have 72 hours from noon. Hopefully that makes sense. Is each guy bringing his own band? No, not exactly. Matt's flying in, so Matt will be playing with my guys, Travis Carlton and Lamar Carter, so hard to beat that. And Kirk will be playing with Travis on bass, who plays with Kirk a lot, and Dave Kidd on drums, who plays with Kirk a lot here in LA. So slightly different for Kirk, but the same for Matt and myself. It's going to be really fun, man. It's going to be a blast. If I could have any guitar in the world, what would it be? Right now, it would be a 1961 or 60 L5 sharp cutaway blonde one. I'm just jonesing so hard for the real deal L5, but it's got to be Florentine cut with PAFs. I'm jonesing hard. That's a dream guitar. Have a cookout. Oh, I'm sure a cookout will happen. Yep, Matt will be playing trio. Can you see the back of the neck? It's almost unfinished at this point. It's a hand rub finish, and whenever I would see Bill Chapin, he would normally put more back on, but I haven't seen him in years, so there's not a lot of finish left on this neck. Yeah, that's the lineup for each band. Ooh, super chat about Spotify. So on Christmas Day, I did a deep dive into my statistics, and I was relatively surprised to really do the math. This year on Spotify, I had almost 600,000 plays, which is a lot, but in the scheme of things isn't a ton compared to like major artists. But for me, it was a lot, and it's gone up a lot every year. So 600,000 plays netted me, not me, but my business around $2,000. I don't get all that because of the deals that I've made over the years as an artist. Oh yeah, you'll help me promote this record here. You can have a piece of this and this. So I made $500 off Spotify this year from almost 600,000 plays. It got me thinking, well, let me think, how many records do I sell digitally? Whoa, that was where I was really shocked. Between CD Baby, Bandcamp, iTunes, Amazon, I basically sell one record a week. Full records. So that means the majority of people stream my music. I only sell about 52 records a year. And then, of course, the day it comes out, when a new record comes out, I'll sell a whole bunch initially. But even still, the vast majority are streaming. That was really surprising to me, and it's making me rethink my philosophy going forward. I have a record in the can that I'm literally certain is the greatest thing I've ever done. It's certainly the most proud I've ever been of any project. And I'm wondering if I should keep it special and not put it on Spotify, not put it anywhere maybe, but directly from my website. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing about today's day and age. I'm not really sure what the right thing is to do. Are we having a sleepover? Well, yeah, Matt will be sleeping here at the studio. Am I going to play the Strat on the gig? I'm sure I will play the Strat some. Yeah. Yep, Travis is the man. If it's too nice, you might not want to play it. Oh, the guitar, yeah. Happy New Year, Josh. How about a little jazz or blues, a little taste, if you will? Thank you for the super chat. Happy to play a little blues or jazz blues. I'm going to move the mic so I can play for a minute. There you go. Little blues in B flat for you, my favorite key. I should post my Spotify stats page like everybody else. Yeah, it feels weird. Like, look how well I did on Spotify when I know how much money I actually made from it. It felt weird to glorify it. Yeah, CDs are dying. I don't even have a CD player anywhere. Favorite jazz albums. Oh, man. That's a long list. But, like, Blue Train, all time. Giant Steps, Kind of Blue, Sketches of Spain. Kenny Garrett, lots of them. Standard of Language, Happy People, Triology. Kenny Garrett's really important for me. Freddie Hubbard, Wayne Shorter, Wes Montgomery Trio, the first one with organ, that's my jam. One with Roundabout Midnight on it. Monk, Roundabout Midnight. Charlie Parker, everything, especially I love Charlie Parker with strings. Man, Kim on there, oh, holy cannoli. Have I lost weight? No, I wish I could say that was the truth, but I haven't. I got better lights in the studio. Maybe that's making me look slimmer. I don't know. I am trying, but I don't know that I'm succeeding yet. Man, you guys are so kind. I'm having a good time. I mostly wanted to promote the gig coming up this weekend. I'm actually like, it sounds silly, but I'm really excited about doing it. It'll be nice to play with the guys, but more it'll be nice to like have that camaraderie for a few days. You don't realize how much you miss just hanging out with your friends, talking about music. I've interviewed so many of my friends in the last few months for YouTube, and that's fun, and it's a good hang, and we talk to each other. But like the in-person hang is like, man, I miss it so much. That feeling, the little secret language that musicians have, really missing that. Josh, was nice to see you use a Unidyne for recording guitar. Dad just gave me a bunch of them, and I've been trying them out for recording. Love it. Oh, dude. I mean, they're the classic, hard to beat, quite honestly. Do I see Joe B much? Yes, actually, I do see Joe pretty often because we do a lot of things together. We work together on a lot of projects, and we talk very, very often. So I do see Joe because he lives here in LA, even though he has places elsewhere. So I see him quite often. Yeah. Am I a music theory scholar? Or do you just play what you feel by ear? I think I'm half and half. I like to know what I'm doing, but play by ear, if that makes sense. Less play by ear, but play from my heart. And let my ear and my head and my heart all lead the way at times. So sometimes I'm, led down the path by what my head knows is right. Sometimes I'm led by the path by what my heart wants to do. And sometimes my ear by reacting to what I've just played or what somebody else plays. And I think that's what you're really looking for, is the balance of those three elements come together. And then the other crucial part of that is, what can you actually physically do? So it's important to be able to physically do and know as much as you can, so to remove the barriers for the other three aspects that are trying to tell your story. What flatwound strings and gauges do you use? My favorite flatwound strings being made are the old school pyramid ones from Germany, and I like 14 through 60 when I use flats. I only have them on one guitar at the moment. I'd have to go into another room to grab it right now, if you wanted to hear it. So I might not go do that right this second. But those are the flatwounds that I like. I've been thinking about flatwounds. Like if I ever do get that L5, I might put flatwound 16 through 60 on there. I've played a number of guitars lately of friends who had real L5s, and even D'Angelico set up that way with 15s and 16s flatwounds, and I really, really loved the way that it felt. I might do that. Give you the lowdown on the Norm Harris session. What do you want to know about the Norm Harris session? Well, Norm is my he's family. I mean, he's like an uncle. You know what I mean? I really consider Norm family. He's so kind to me, and he has been for so many years. And so when Norm wanted to record a song for his documentary, which is coming soon, he asked to come record here. So I basically just produced the session and engineered. I don't play on that song. I just kind of helped, maybe arrange a little bit, but mostly produce and get it together. And it was fun, a lot of guitar on that song, which is kind of the joke. But actually, I think it's a solid song. And actually, there's a second Norm song coming out soon. We actually just mixed it over the weekend before Christmas. So that'll be coming soon. No, I didn't go from 13s to 14s. We're talking about if I'm using flat wounds. I prefer 14s or sometimes heavier. But most of my guitars are all the regular round wound 13s. Big difference between flat wound and round wound. You don't need to bend with flat wounds. You can't really. So. Oh, glad you enjoyed the video with Tommy Emmanuel and Joe on the cruise. That was fun. It was great just to spend time with Tommy Emmanuel on the boat. I'd never met him. And what a gentleman. And the stories, my goodness. What's your thoughts about transcribing solos? Did I ever do that? Sure, I learned solos. I never wrote anything out. I like to learn the beginnings of solos and then kind of go my own way, if that makes sense, during the solo. I like to learn the licks that really stand out to me, and then learn the reason why they stood out. I think that's the best thing you can take away from learning your hero's stuff, is take stock of what really, really piqued your interest. So when somebody plays something cool, don't just learn it note for note. Learn, why did that make you go, whoa, what was that? And that's really the thing you need to learn is the reason. Like, man, that lick is killer, but it's because of rhythmically the way he played it against the beat. I'm going to practice that technique or that harmonic thing. He played a lot of melodic minor, or he played an altered sound there. I'm going to lay into that altered sound. That's what an important way to kind of get the essence of what you're listening to when you're hearing your heroes play these great things, without just learning verbatim, facsimiles, because that doesn't really expand your knowledge, I don't think. Wow, now the questions are coming fast and furious. Let me try to keep up. I've even got it on slow chat. Do I find myself sometimes relying on muscle memory when improvising? Of course, we all have that built up memory in our fingers, of the way things work. A lot of my muscle memory is tied to time. I rely on my muscle memory to make me have things add up mathematically, if you will, in time. Am I ever intrigued by Nashville? Or maybe show up there to play? You're leaving from LA to go to Nashville. Yeah, I like it there, but I probably won't ever live there. I'm from the South. I grew up in Florida. I don't know that I'll ever move back to the South for personal reasons. And I like it there. I like going there to work. I'd prefer to keep it that way. I like it in LA. I'm that guy who likes it here. I do like it here a lot. Oh, yeah. Australians and Tommy. I've heard you say that you don't like compressors because you like having all the dynamic range. It was validating to hear that because I've always felt the same way. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Jeff McElwain in the house, my friend, and a fantastic player and teacher. What's the first thing I play when I pick up a guitar? So I know I ask all the guys that. Mine is always some version of this. Some walk up diatonically in G. It used to be an E, but the guys made fun of me so much because I played this all the time. Something like that. And they would play it back to me. Every time I would flip standby on the amp, I would play the same thing. And so I changed it to G at least. And that's what I do to just check if a guitar works all the way up the fretboard. It kind of tells me if the guitar resonates. That's another thing in the store, of course, is strumming the strings. I like to strum the strings and just rest my arm against the bout of the guitar. And if I can feel I feel it tremendously on this guitar. It's literally shaking my arm. And I do that in the store. I'll even do it when they're still on the wall. I'll just do that, and I'll put my arm up next to it and feel if I feel anything. Radius on my telly, since you're on a roll. It was compound, 9.5 to 11 or so, but now it's 9.5 all the way because it's been refretted so many times, and I just had it straightened up. Could I share my favorite H9 presets? Well, of course, the first one is this one. I actually don't have a bunch of them programmed into this new board yet. That's what I'm thinking tonight is for. Once I get off here, I'm going to program all my normal shit into this new board. So, I have many sounds in there, like, delays and reverbs, like the stuff at the beginning of Penance. I have a ring mod in there that I like. I have a few choruses, flangers. The H9 does so much, but obviously the Leslie is the thing I use the most. Could I show how I earn money these days? Well, that's the thing about playing music these days and doing what we do. You have to be so incredibly diverse. So that's how it works for me. I've got, money that comes from True Fire. okay, which is a good part of my year. I have money that comes from producing records. Well, I do a good handful of those every year. It's not a ton of money, but it's some money. I have money that comes from my own music every year, the little bit from Spotify, the CD sales, the Blu-ray DVD sales, the t-shirts, the my shit money that comes in from that stuff. I have money from guitar sessions. That still happens. This year I've done 2 weeks of teaching lessons. Those were good weeks because I killed myself. I did, 50 lessons almost in the span of 6 days, twice this year. All sorts. I have money that comes from the pedals that I helped design that have my name on them, the amp that I helped design that have my name on it, the speaker that I helped design that has my name on it. All those types of little things. If I didn't have all of them, it would have been a really tough year because you got to remember a giant part of my pie has been eliminated this year, and that's the gig money. Doesn't exist. That being said, the gig money was less substantial than I thought it was before this year happened, but still very important, and I'm missing it greatly. Not just for the money, I'm missing it mostly because of what it does for me here. It's a part of me, and the most favorite part actually. Did we lose any studios in the Nashville bombing? I don't think so. Nick Moss, that's my brother, man. Speak. Thoughts on stainless steel frets? I don't love them. I wish I could give you a better answer, but I just don't like them. I understand the need for them, but they're not my favorite. Hey, what's up, Jeffrey? How do I keep my speed up? But more specifically, speed and articulation. Um, Man, speed is not a thing I've ever really worked on. But for me, the best thing to do to keep it good is obviously repetition. It's playing the same phrase and getting it up to speed and keeping it going. So, I mean, it could sound really stupid and cliche when you sit there and practice it. But I mean, that helps. Those little things like. Now, obviously, I don't pick like that. So that's why it doesn't sound that great. But if I go and do hybrid picking my way, then it's very clean. Like I said, it's very clean, and then I flub a note. Now, obviously, I'm probably the only person in the world that picks it that exact way. It was really random in what notes get picked with the finger, what note gets picked with the pick. But it's more my process. I stay true to it, and I play repetitious things. So I may just go. Oh. Little things like that, repetitious patterns, are what help me keep my speed and my precision good. When is the signature guitar coming out? Well, it's being announced in January. So whenever NAMM is, probably third week of January, January 20 something. It's always when it is. There'll be big videos coming out and announcements and all that. So not much longer to wait, everybody, until at least you'll know what it is. Will there be a blues cruise? I don't know. Hey, what's up, Richard, man? Looking forward to the weekend. Me too, man. Looking forward to seeing you again. I will say hi to Matt for you again. It's too bad we can't see you in the audience each day wearing one of our shirts, the other guy's shirt. That's one of my favorite things when you come to the gigs. You always support one of my friends by wearing one of their shirts. And then when you go to their gigs, you'll wear one of my shirts or something like that. Hey, trust me, dude, those little things are appreciated. The effort that you make to come to our shows to support us, always very appreciated. Oh yeah, hit the like button. Thank you, Jeff. I don't know what the like button means. Yeah, if you're not a subscriber yet here on YouTube, that would really help. Hit subscribe. I'm still doing the membership thing on YouTube. Um, you know, We're having a blast over in the Discord with the rulers. So if you're not a ruler, you might want to consider that. Again, the link for this weekend's gigs is in the description of this video. I'm going to put it in the chat again now. No, they're not having name. It's all virtual. Do my hybrid picking require nails? No. I don't really have much nails on my hands. Can I tell you how I ended up with the Chula? You have the Les Louis, which has the Chula kind of in it. Yeah. Okay. So when I first met Sean from Lev Pedal, and without going into what's going on with Lev Pedal, and yes, obviously they're kind of out of business. I haven't spoken to Sean in years. I don't know any of the story. Don't ask me anymore. But Sean sent me a COT50 and an Eternity first. This is when he was still, very random enclosures, handmade everything. And I was blown away by both, but the COT just changed everything for me because it was such a dynamic pedal, and it wasn't the kind of pedal I was used to. I was used to Tube Screamer type pedals. I used, a TS9 for most of my life, and then I had a Maxon OD820, which I loved, Nobles, all those Tube Screamer type pedals. And this was so different. It was like it had enough gain for me, but it was so dynamic, and it was something I wasn't used to yet. But the way it interacted with my guitars and my hands, it felt like, ooh, I found this thing that's kind of helping me be even more me. And I'm always looking for stuff that does that. So then I started to see I really liked the Chula, well, the COT set just below half, but there were certain times I wanted a little more, and I'd turn the knob up. So I asked Sean, can you make me one like that with two in there? And let's preset the first side to half, and let's make it so that's the best version of that sound of a COT you've ever made. The most clarity, the most dynamics, the most headroom. So that's what we did. And then the second side has the knob, and we limited the range so that it's always a boost no matter what versus the first side. And that's it. That's the simplicity of the Chula, and it's truly been indispensable. I have not gone without the Chula on a gig in 13 years now, I think, since it's existed. Might even be 15 years now, but I think 13. Over the thumb. That's subconscious for sure, I don't do it a lot in single note. I do it a lot in that. Like if I put chords in. Yeah, I don't think I do it a lot in my single note. It's normally if I'm putting chord stabs in between the single note, and I certainly do it a lot when I'm chording. Danny Gatton. Yes, you definitely watch as much Danny Gatton. Is the Chula a blues breaker? No. The Chula is like a germanium or silicon, just a diode like boost. Like it's one knob and you're biasing a transistor. So it's not an overdrive pedal. So here's nothing, and here's the first side of the Chula. Right? So here, if I go bridge pickup and roll my volume down. It's like it's not even there. But if I turn up, so it's just a really dynamic pedal. It's a very, very, very simple circuit, but I think that's what makes it so great. Man, I need my glasses. An Electra variation. There you go, Jar. Can I play Harlem Nocturne? I'd need to relearn it, actually. It's been a long time, but man, that was a jam. I'm going to work on that, actually. Good question, Rude Mood. I'm going to get into that again. I think there should be a Harlem Nocturne video. Good idea. What's different between the Chula and the Super Hard-On? I think the EQ is pretty different, but I think circuit-wise they're relatively similar. Maybe just different diodes and different ways of clipping at the end, but I think in simplicity they're relatively similar. Are my 251s improvised? Oh yeah, absolutely. Everything I play is improvised, really. Great, you just got tickets for all 3 days this weekend. That's ruling. Thanks, guys. I'm glad you're enjoying all the content. I am working hard on the videos and all the stuff. I'm working on book. I'm working on everything I can to keep myself busy and occupied, you know. Will I teach again? I probably will. Yeah. Unrelated. What did I play on Father Tom? Ooh, good question. So Father Tom was recorded a long time ago, and it's one of the guitars I wish I had never sold. It was a 1969 Les Paul Custom. It was probably the most expensive vintage guitar that I've ever owned, that I lucked into, and I sold it, as we all do, when I needed money. And it was a nice Les Paul. It was that guitar through my Bluetone amp, which I also sold when I needed money, which was my first Dumble style amp. But that's what was going on that track. Thoughts on the real book? Is there a real book for blues? No, there's not a real book for blues, but even though the real book has lots of mistakes and people rag on it, it's incredibly important, because even if it has a lot of mistakes, it's what guys have to rely on a lot of the time. So if you listen to a song and you have the real book chart, you can normally figure out if there's something wrong, and that's all you need. You just need it to learn the song and then feel comfortable, and you can show up on a gig and then bam, you've got it. Whoa, there's super chats coming in. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Polly Walnuts. Happy to share. Hey, Josh, have I ever done a signature guitar with a manufacturer? Well, no, this is the first time. So Bill has sold some of these over the years to people who asked for versions of this guitar, but technically it wasn't like signature guitar. So that's what's so exciting about the one that's coming out next month. Links to a couple songs by your son. I'll try to take a look after the stream. Will it be an instructional book? Yes, it will be mostly instructional, and then it will have a few of my albums transcribed as well in the back. It's going to be a very big book, although I don't know if it will be physically printed. I will make that an option, but it'll probably be a drop ship option, drop print. So just for the people who want them, it might be relatively expensive. Otherwise, it'll be a PDF, and it'll be an instructional book that I'm kind of looking at as a all the things I do thing book, like my main shit book, and then my tunes, all my philosophies and all that stuff. Do I study non-musical exercises and other techniques? Not really. Here's another super chat. Carmine, thank you. Oh, LaGrange Middle School. I'm happy to have shared, and thanks for asking me to do it, man. That was fun. I remember that. I had a good time. It's been nice to hang out with you guys too. How many shows would I be doing a year? Probably more like 100 and something a year was my average, because then I got normally 4 or 5 records to produce every year, which is a week here or there each time and things like that. It used to be 200, but now it's more like 100, 150. Do I have a date for the announcement? No, I'm going to lock that in. But if you guys want to help me, here we go. Here's some shameless help. Go on Sweetwater and search Josh Smith's signature guitar. Start searching for it because that'll probably be the first place you'll find it. But if you search for my signature guitar on Sweetwater, they'll order more of them, is what I was told, which is great, would be great because they'll see there's an interest. Do I ever play slide? It's been quite a long time. Will my guitar come with 13s? So they asked me, hey, are we trying to be authentic here? Should we ship all your guitars to stores with 13s? And I said, no, we want people to pick up this guitar and want to buy it. So let's go middle of the road. So no, it will not have 13s on it when you walk into a store to check it out or when you order it. I thought about it, and I was the voice of reason, surprisingly. They wanted to do it. What guitar do I play when watching TV? Ooh, whichever one is closest at hand. So I don't have many in the house because I have the studio here. So in the house, normally it's an acoustic. It's the only one I keep in the house. That would be my D18. Best guitar face in the game? Oh, I don't know. There's some really good guitar faces in the game. You want to get into hybrid picking, what would you suggest as a good starting point for practice? Play some triplets, man. That's what got me, playing stuff like... And I got that little roll going. You know, play triplets and kind of... My main shit, yeah, that's what I'm going to call the book. Josh Smith, learn my main shit. Did you stick with 3 brass saddles or go to 6? Are you talking about on the signature guitar? 6 saddles is illegal in my world. It's not a Telecaster if it has 6 saddles. That's illegal. Just like Pepsi is illegal in my house. There's a Coke-only house. 6 saddles are illegal on my Telecasters. But it has saddles like these on this guitar, which are titanium, which is an important part, I think, of my sound. And that's what's on my new signature guitar, which are titanium saddles. Do you need another guitar? Of course you do, man. We all know the answer to that. When are Derek and I going to do an album together? Well, probably never. You want the truth on that? I mean, we're friends who've known each other a long time, but I think Derek doesn't really see me. He still sees me as the little kid, quite honestly. And he's grown into Derek Trucks, and I don't know that he really follows what I do in my world or my career. I'm not sure if he's aware of, honestly, any of the music that I've made or what I've ended up doing with my life. We're more just like friends, like normal people friends now, because we haven't played together in so long. I don't know that he's ever even heard me play as an adult. So probably never. Happy New Year to you guys. Just got the triple header ruling. Yep, it's going to be great, man. Matt Schofield, Kirk Fletcher, myself, good band, good times, salsa and beer. That's the name of a restaurant. I'm sure we'll be ordering takeout from there. It's right up the street from my house. It's the best Mexican food in all of Los Angeles. Oh, man. Now all the comments are catching up. Any thoughts on Tony Rice's passing? Yeah, that was a bummer to me. Tony Rice is someone for me like almost the same as Eddie Van Halen, whereas I loved listening to him play so much and loved the music and never tried to learn any of it. It was more like I'm just a fan. I could listen to this guy and just go, whoa. Same thing with Tommy Emmanuel. It was like these guys were in another planet to me, and I just loved to listen to them play music. And that was the way Tony felt to me. So sad to see him go. Is my song "And What" a take on "Say What"? Of course. Kirky and I did that song together as a duet on the Over Your Head record, and I thought, man, what if we did like a wah wah duet where we played a lick where we answered each other, kind of like "Say What" but with different changes and our own thing. And yeah, certainly. So that's why it's called "And What." What's the price point going to look at on the signature model? I don't know that I can say that. I'll just wait. Will Wildwood be carrying it? I think so. I don't know. I think most stores will carry it. It's a very large brand that's normally in any guitar store. So I think they certainly, if they don't get it offhand, they will be able to get it if someone asks them for it. Absolutely. Oh, thanks, man. That's very kind of you to say. Morgan's signature comes up after searching. Yep, because I think that's the only signature thing they have at Sweetwater. Yep, and there'll be a new Morgan signature amp. We're working on that too, but the JS12 is available for now. Is it Fender? I can't answer that question. Lefty Sig. They said, I did ask, thank you for reminding me. I asked about lefty versions of the Sig. They said it's possible, but it depends on what the sales look like initially. Because, yeah, you know how it goes, and I wish that wasn't the case, but that's what I was told. The JS signature trem on Rocket? Yeah, that's me. Yep. I love that pedal. Where does one start when getting into music engineering, mixing, and mastering? Okay, good question, Jeff. For me, it was necessity driven. You know, I started needing to do guitar sessions for people remotely. This is going back 10 years ago or so, where, I just have an M box and a mic and I'd record guitar into Pro Tools. I start to learn little by little, how do I get one track in Pro Tools and record to a take and get them what they need, learn about bit rate and resolution and all those types of things. So little by little, I started to be able to do that, get a decent sound. Then I teach myself more of Pro Tools, how to, do this and that. Then how to mic things properly, how to EQ things properly, how to get the certain sounds that I like. It was very, very little by little, step by step, necessity driven. And then when I built the studio, it was like, well, I better dive in all the way here. I need to be able to be working here without always calling people for help or having somebody else here that I'm paying to do a job that I should be able to do myself. So most of it was driven by that. Now, mixing, on the other hand, is something that can only be done with a lot of practice, and I'm still teaching myself how to be a mixer. It's a real serious skill that needs to be learned, because it doesn't just mean setting levels. It's really setting everything. It's creating excitement and forward motion in a tune. Mixers do some amazing stuff. So I mostly rely on other people to mix things that I know are going to be released, because I don't feel I'm a great mixer yet. Maybe I will be one day. I'm working on it. Mastering is like black magic. It's this thing you do at the end that just makes everything better, but you don't quite understand what the fuck it is. And I've worked with some great ones over the years, and that's not true. I do understand what it is, but there's always this little aspect of voodoo, that like, whoa, they really didn't do much, but why does everything sound so much better? But, it's like the finishing touch. It's what balances out all the songs so that they sound cohesive, balances levels, balances EQ between each song so that it sounds like they all come from the same album, recorded in the same place, which you already do when you're mixing too, but this takes it to the next level. It's about the flow of the record, even putting an extra second between songs, a pause between when you get a slow, heavy song and you give it an extra breath second before the next song starts. Makes a big difference in the way someone listens to an album, at least when they used to listen to albums in completion. All those things. And then, of course, the level. Mastering is what gets level up to commercial volumes, which, we can't really do here pleasantly in the studio. Do I use an attenuator? Nope. Do you know how to set up your guitar? Yes. If you connect straight, what preamp do you use when connecting into a DAW? Most of the time, I'm using preamps here from the Trident Series 70 desk. That's what you're hearing right now, is a 57 and a ribbon into the console. That's my favorite of what I have here for guitar. It's my favorite guitar sound are these preamps. And then it goes into what's right here, which are Digitech 192 converters at 96K normally. Depends on the session and how long it's going to be and blah, blah, blah. So a lot of times for video, it's 48K because video standard is 48K. But when I'm tracking records, I'll try to record at 96K because it just sounds better. It's more information, and I like the way it sounds, even though it creates really, really large files. Sometime could I show the studio control room? Yeah, absolutely. Here's the control room, the whole thing. I've got the light. I'm experimenting with the lights. So right now, I don't have the overhead lights on. I just have the lights for the cameras, which I think makes it look better. But that's the control room. There's a bit of the live room. Yeah. Did I have good gear as a kid? No. No, I had, Crate and Ross practice amps, Gorilla, and cheap guitars. Charvette, Charvel, not a good one, like a cheap one. Until I saved up and bought my Stevie Ray Vaughan signature Strat with my first gig money. I started to save my $75 a week in an envelope, and that was my first real guitar. My first real amp was bought the same way because my practice amps couldn't handle gigs. So I bought a Silverface Pro Reverb because a guy at a music store steered me the right way and said, this amp will actually work for you and you can use it for the rest of your life. And he was right. Silverface Pro Reverb was a good choice. So live, I use a Fender and an AC30. Why just the 1 amp for recording? Oh, it's not always just the 1 amp for recording, Jar. When I'm recording my own music, like for real, with the guys and a big time session, I normally have the Vox in there, Cambridge Reverb, or my AC20 Morgan, or I have another little AC15 style amp called the Exits, Xits, X10 they call it. I like that. Sometimes I use a Bassman as the second amp. I have a vintage Tweed Bassman. I like the way it pairs also with my JS40 or with the JS12. I have a Tweed Harvard. I'll sometimes pair that. Just depends. But if it's just me doing these videos or doing a single guitar track for somebody, then yeah, it's normally just the JS12 because it's easy and it sounds good. Did I use my bar mitzvah money for that Strat? No. Bar mitzvah money went for a stereo and an acoustic guitar. Is the studio in my house? It's not attached to the house. It's behind the house. Harmonic trem. I like it. I like vibrato like the Magnatone style, which reminds me I need to program one up on this board. That's what I'm going to do when I get off this chat is program up this new board. But I like the Magnatone thing. Did I play any double stops when I backed up Mick Jagger? Yes, I did back up Mick Jagger at the Grammys with Raphael Sadiq. We played Everybody Needs Somebody to Love. I might have played it like that. Something like that. I think a couple times I might have played some stuff up there, but mostly I was the foundation guy. Something like that. Yeah. I don't know. Any idea when I'll be releasing the next album? I don't know. Yeah, John Belushi about to bust through the door. I don't know. I'm trying to make some special things happen with this album, so we'll see. What advice would I give to you, Jeff? Man, you're doing it right, bro. You're doing it right. You know, the best advice I can give any guitar player or musician who wants to do this for a living is take every gig you can possibly get, which I know doesn't exist right now, but that's really important, is take every freaking gig you can. Play weddings, play bar mitzvahs, play singer-songwriter duo gigs, learn Ariana Grande songs, and back up your friend who wants to sing. You know, do whatever you possibly can, because every one of those things makes you a better musician. You know, soak it all in, especially while you can, while you're young, and maybe your responsibilities aren't as heavy as they will be in a few years, you know, and do everything you possibly can to make yourself better. I don't know how you change your name here. Thoughts on the other YouTube guys? Do we chat much? Sure. Rick is a friend, more of a new friend, but I actually pick his brain a lot because obviously I respect his knowledge, his ability, the hard work that he puts in, the work ethic he has. It's pretty tremendous, actually. And, you know, when I was getting ready to do some of this, yeah, I picked his brain a lot. Same with Tim. Tim I've known a long time because he's here in L.A. and we're friends. So, yeah, you know, I just saw Tim last week. He let me borrow this thing that I'm sitting on as an insert in my chair because I need a better chair because I'm spending so much more time in this chair and it's been hurting my back, you know, because I'm sitting forward like this, like I am right now, not using it, you know. And Tim just got a chair that he really loves, but it's really expensive. So before I plunge into a very expensive chair, he was like, you should try this insert thing that I used for years. So he brought it over here for me to try. So yeah, I speak to a lot of these guys. Rhett Scholl, I text him all the time. Dude, what is your light thing? You know, so he told me to try what I'm trying today with these 3 lights. 1 behind me, 2 in front. I think it looks better. You know, I ask questions of everybody, and everybody's been so kind. Have I ever heard Mark Lettieri play before? Of course. I played with Mark many times. He's a great friend. In fact, I just interviewed him on my channel. So if you would like to hear us have an hour-long conversation and talk about music as friends, go to my channel and watch Live from Flat 5 interview with Mark Lettieri. I think it was just 2 weeks ago's release. I release one of those every Friday night or Saturday morning. And yep. Can I explain cascades? Cascades are like you know, a careening over a waterfall. I heard Danny Gatton play stuff like. So it's like it's cascading down over a waterfall or something like that. It's open strings mixed with, you know, fretted notes. So that's what I hear. Like. Stuff like that. That's kind of what I think Cascades are, is like that open string mixed with fretted notes. Kind of sounds like you're falling down the stairs or like a waterfall to me. Any news on my signature guitar? Yeah, we talked about it a little earlier. It's only a few weeks away from the announcement. So, and I mentioned if you want to help, go to Sweetwater and search Josh Smith signature guitar, or anywhere where you like to shop for instruments, because that'll help them be interested in it and maybe make sure they order more of them. What do I think of Blackberry Smoke? I honestly haven't heard that much. Do I have Dean Parks lined up? No, but I reached out. I'm trying. Where's the Ariel Posen interview? It's in the can. Maybe that will be this week's. Who knows? But it's in the can. I mean, it's coming. I'm only putting out one a week, so I got a lot of good ones. But maybe I'll follow up Philip Sace with Ariel. Stay Canadian. Or should it be Joey Landreth? I could do a Canadian run, 3 weeks of Canadians in a row. I mean, who should it be? Were I ever close to giving up guitar and music? No. Nope, I've never been even close to it. Honestly, because it's kind of the greatest thing in the world. Even on the worst days. Are we going to get info on that Selmer? Oh, fuck yeah, you are. That's going to be Wednesday's video, is the Selmer. And I apologize for not having a video today. That's why I'm doing this thing. So, hey, rulers, let's talk about a challenge for this week. There was a question in there in the Discord today about swinging. I think that should be this week's challenge. Play me something swinging. I'm going to make a members-only video, and I'll post up after this real quick just to talk directly to the rulers for this week's challenge. But play me something swinging, I think, will be this week's challenge. Give me your best dotted eighth note, triplets. Let me feel the swing. Jarius Mose. I don't really know Jarius, but I'll reach out. But I got Jubu coming. So he's the godfather of all those gentlemen. So many great players. But if you look at Jarius and Eric Walls, there's Eric Walls also coming. I interviewed him. Of course, Sharky, so many of these guys. Jubu is the godfather. Jubu and Spanky. Yeah, dude. Well, Jubu, I've known Jubu a long time, and he's criminally underrated. So I'm hoping interview with him will get people excited. Another one coming is the great Derwin Perkins, Big D, who plays with John Cleary and the Absolute Monster Gentlemen. You guys will love Derwin's playing. Interview Sharky. I asked. He hasn't responded. I know Sharky. I sent him a message. I'm not chasing anybody down. If they want to do it, they want to do it. I got so many in the can, and I'm doing, I did so many at the beginning, and I'm still doing about one a week just to keep adding on. I literally, it's a never-ending, inexhaustible list of great players. So, and eventually I'm going to break out of just guitar players and get into some other stuff. But trust me, everybody you're asking me for, I probably already thought of them. Books for learning more about chords. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. If you just want to learn every chord that exists, you can get Ted Green Chord Chemistry, but it'll drive you crazy. But if you want to learn chords you're really going to use, get Mickey Baker Jazz Guitar 1. That has all the chords that are necessary. Sean Tubbs, yep, I asked Sean. I'm sure that will happen. Eric Gales, of course that will happen. Eric Gales, Joe, Kirk, those are my brothers. Any changes about the European tour? I really don't know. I don't know. Chris Duarte. Yeah, that's in talks about. I asked him about an interview too, and I'm sure we'll get to that. But I think it's possible I'll be involved in the making of his next album. We're still talking about it. Blake Mills, I don't know. We're not personally acquainted. Is Derek? I've asked Derek. He said he would, but it hasn't happened yet, so we'll see. Travis. Well, that's easy. I can get Travis on. Schofield would be a dream. I'd love to get that. Somebody said play this. It's going to get me nicked, though, by the copyright people. I'm going to stay away from covers. Ooh, you guys are giving me some good suggestions. Warren, I should reach out to Warren. I know Warren, but not that well, but I think that it might be possible. Wow, Clematis Street, West Palm Beach, raised downtown. Oh, Tomo, I'm sure I'll get Tomo on. Of course. Do you need to learn jazz tunes to play over fancy changes? Or can you play other music? No, you don't need to learn jazz tunes. You know, you just need to learn why things work on certain chords and how to connect the dots. You know, the tunes are irrelevant. Play what you like. Here's the gravity pick. 1.1 millimeter. Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Yep. I asked Kenny Wayne. That's coming. Tom Quayle. I asked Tom. That's coming. Yeah. Again, I'm only putting one out a week, so I think I've literally probably already recorded a year's worth, so there's no shortage. A video of myself, Tomo, and Kirk play rhythm. That's possible. Guy King for sure. I'll get Guy King on there. Jack Pearson, I'll reach out to. Jimmy Herring, I don't really know. Adam Douglas, that's my bro. Oh, glad you enjoyed the lockdown. All right, guys. I think I'm going to get into a little bit of work for a second. I'm going to program this pedal board up, make a little video for the rulers about this week's challenge. I hope you all are having a good holiday. And again, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, live from Flat 5 Bluesfest. That would be, if it were me, I'd buy a ticket. Again, so January 1st, Kirk Fletcher, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. January 2nd, Matt Schofield, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. January 3rd, myself, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Each one of us will play a full set of our own music, and then we'll jam at the end. You can buy individual day tickets, or you could buy a 3-day pass, or you could buy a 3-day pass with a special T-shirt. And you won't offend me if you only buy Matt's tickets or only Kirk's tickets. I get it. I won't be mad. So we're having a blast. It's going to be fun. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Here's the link one more time. It's also in the description of the video. So please pick up your tickets now. Raphael Sadiq, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, Tomo I'll get on for sure. All right, everybody. Ruling. Good hang today. I appreciate you guys checking this out. Thanks to everybody commenting on here and all the great questions. Thanks for the super chats. Wow. This was a fun one. Good chat, good questions. I appreciate you guys always being so supportive. And look forward to this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll be chatting with you guys in here while Kirk and Matt are playing. We can talk mad shit. All right? Anyways, yeah. All right, guys. Have a good one.